Merry Christmas to me, a Merry Christmas to me. Every day. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas to you, and the best year you've ever had. I don't think that's how it goes. No, that's not how it goes. Whatever. Shut up. My Christmas present has arrived. Oh, I've been waiting so long for this. Well, not that long. It just felt like an eternity. It really doesn't matter how old you get. When you order something to come in the mail, it always feels like an eternity, you know? But this was well worth the wait. What's in the box? You're just going to have to wait and see. Damn, son, that's what I call chain. Some players like to roll with their boats and hoes. I roll with my Crocs and chains, dog. It's what I call G'd up from the feet up. Woo-wee! That doesn't give you a warm, tingly feeling down in your loins, well, you might need to go see Alice. All right, so I've got this thing set up with my 660 Magnum. But the actual plan for using this thing is I've got another 660 hooked up to my smaller Alaskan mill. I'm going to take the power head off that, and you can actually mount it on the other end of this bar. It's made for 2 power heads or single power head. So I've got it set up with the single right now, but honestly, with a cut this wide, they recommend that you use the 880, which is 120 cc's. The biggest still saw they make. These are only 90. So I've just set it up here just to kind of give you a demo of how it runs. Come on. Come on, girl. I am fired up to use this thing. So the only bummer is I've got to wait for another 404 sprocket for my other saw, because my other saw is set to 3/8. But this setup requires the 404 sprocket, which is a thicker, wider chain. So it needs a different drive sprocket to run it. So I might try it out just with this one power head to see if I can go through some of the logs that I've got. All right, so now you're probably wondering, why on earth did you buy this gymongous chainsaw? Well, who doesn't want to buy a gymongous chainsaw? But on a practical level, owning a tool like this, you know, it has to serve a purpose. Well, guess what? If you showed up to any of my meet and greets in Seattle and here in Victoria, I already told you my little secret, but I came across the mother of all log stashes. You can see these 2 rounds right here. I don't even know what type of wood they are, but they're awesome. Awesome type of wood. Because look how cool they are. And get this, these things, they were giving them away for free because they're going to buck them up into firewood. So I rolled a few of them into my van. And there's a whole dozen more I could go get as well. I think I might grab a few because they make really sweet little coffee tables or butcher blocks or something like that. Just throw a couple legs on them, rip the bark off. Art. That's what I'm talking about. So I roll these things here. Sure enough, I go down to Seattle for the holidays, and I'm checking out Woodcraft Supply, and they got pretty much the exact same thing that they're selling for guess how much. Oh my gosh, that was funny. So I'm not so much laughing because I've got $2,500 worth of wood tabletops or whatever, like Woodcraft is selling them for. I'm more laughing at the fact that Woodcraft is selling firewood for $600. But they will make some really cool tables, and so stay tuned for those. But I think they're going to have to dry for probably at least a year to be super stable before I use them. So. But it would be a pretty dick move of me to be like, hey, I got all these awesome logs, and then not show you. So let's go check out the wood stash that I scored. All right, so here's a couple of the big daddy chunks of Garry Oak I got. And see, this one here is 53 inches in diameter. Whew, that's right at the max of what my saw can handle. I'm probably not going to slab it across the grain anyways. I might take this one cookie that's almost cut all the way here. I think they started sawing through it, and then right at the other side they probably ran into a nail or something like that and then had to make a new cut. So I'm going to try and come in from the other side, finish that cut, have a big cookie table right there. And then I'll probably take the rest and slab it this way into like big blocks or whatever for tables or slabs, you know, whatever. And the same thing here. Garry Oak is a species, I think it's kind of only available in this area here where I live in the northwest on Vancouver Island. I'm not sure how broad the tree species ranges, but it's in the oak family. It just doesn't have quite the same color as the other oak trees. It's kind of a yellow oak, but same kind of grain patterns and rays and that sort of stuff when you cut it, so it's really beautiful. But these are the beauties that I'm excited about, and this is what I've really bought my saw for. These ones are 36-inch diameter, about 38 or 39 that way. These are big Garry Oaks. They got vines all over them. I'm going to have to chop all that off. Just slab this up. There's a bit of core rot you can see here, but that actually might turn out to be some cool kind of figure in the wood and some patches that I can fill with an epoxy to actually make it kind of a feature piece. So I'm excited to slab these up. I got 1, 2 of them, and then I got a big crotch here, and then I got these 3 big pine ones. I got a smaller pine that I can do on my bandsaw mill over there. And this one here is probably going to have to be done on the Alaskan, and I got another one on the other side there. So fair bit of wood to be cut up here. And there's really no way I'd even be able to lift any of these pieces of wood without help. So that brings me to my other big announcement. I've hired a new apprentice. So I'll do an introduction with Justin next week, my new apprentice. And I'm pretty pumped to have finally have some help to just ramp up production and get some more stuff done, because honestly, I'm just dragging myself into 2017 here. I'm super pumped on all the projects and all the stuff I got planned for 2016, but honestly, I'm so friggin' exhausted. Ever since I built my son his bed a couple months back, he was in a crib before and he couldn't get out in the morning when he woke up, but now that he knows he can get out of bed, because he's special needs, he wakes up at 4:30 in the morning and is raring to go for the day. And if you don't let him out of his room, he shits everywhere, and then you basically have to deep clean his room first thing in the morning. And yeah, it's been a bit of a nightmare, but we're pushing through, trying to come up with some solutions, my wife and I, to deal with that nonsense. But it's kind of just sucked the life out of me. And these last few months, if you've noticed, the channel's kind of hasn't been ramping up. I just haven't been able to get as many projects done as I want due to a whole number of issues, but that being the main one. So bear with me, guys. We got a lot of fun stuff planned for 2017. 2017 is my year. It's your year too. Just get out there and build something. These are the Arbutus logs that I'm going to be cutting up. They're pretty decent size here. That one's 16 inches. This guy here is a biggie. It's about 2 feet, and it's got a nice little crotch right there. That'll be nice when I slab that. They've been sitting out for about a year now. A little bit of checking and stuff going on, but I think once I cut into the center, we'll get some good, beautiful wood out of that. We've also got a couple of monkey puzzle trees there. 3 of those logs slabbed up some monkey puzzle. Never seen monkey puzzle wood before. It's got those cool, the branches all go in rings every so many feet. You get all the knots kind of in like one ring, so that's kind of cool. I think it'll look neat once I cut those open. And I got a bunch of firs and stuff and one more London plane over there that I'm going to be slabbing up. See, the cool thing about being a woodworker, well, it's kind of a two-edged sword, is you can get all this wood. I got pretty much all this wood for free from job sites and arborists who take them down in people's yards. But the amount of work and labor it takes to process this wood into usable lumber, and then on top of that, to actually dry it out, which takes years. For you metric people, it's 1 year per centimeter, right? So a centimeter from each side of the board thickness, 1 year. So typically, you know, for 2-3 inch slabs, we're talking like 4 years to air dry those before they're stable and able to use. So this huge pile of wood here, I'm going to cut it all up, but then I'm going to have to find a place to store it for years before it's actually dry enough for me to be able to turn it into some awesome furniture. So it's fun to get all this wood and envision all the stuff you can make out of it, but you have to be really patient and plan years and years in advance to do this sort of stuff. Because I've been dreaming about having my Alaskan mill, having my bandsaw mill. I had these dreams like 10 years ago, and now they're just coming to fruition in my life. So for you guys that are just starting out and are like, how'd you get all these tools and all this sort of stuff? It's like I dreamed of these tools a long time ago, and then I sat down and I strategized and I planned for how I was going to acquire these tools and acquire the wood and build my dreams. So you guys have to be very diligent, and you have to be very specific in what you want in life, or it's just never going to happen, because everything that you receive in life is going to be dictated by the actions that you take in life. And the actions that you take in life will only be taken if you believe that they're going to bring about the results, right? So first you got to have faith that your dreams are achievable, that you can do them, and everything that you need, the people that you need, and the assets and all the things that you need to accomplish the things you want to accomplish, they're available for you, and the opportunities are there. Once you believe that, you'll start taking actions in preparation for them to happen, and they will happen. You'll be blown away. I never could have envisioned my life turning out the way it has right now to put me in this place right here, but I believed that I would be here one day. Didn't know how it would happen, and here I am, guys. So if some schmuck with no education from a podunk town in Canada can basically live all his dreams and more, so can you. No excuses, guys. And keep in mind that where I am right now, I'm not where I want to be. This isn't where I'm going to finish either. I'm already planning for the 10 years down the road where I'll be in a place that'll be completely different than now, right? It's all just a part of my journey. So you guys got to dream big, and you got to think long term, and you got to plan long term, all right? That's your little samurai pep talk. Now get out there and bust some skulls. Headbutt. Samurai out.